Hello, Bible Church family. All summer long, I'm eager to encourage us to buck the trend and attend church weekly. Nationally, there are fewer people attending church than ever before in American history. And of those who are attending, they're present fewer than twice a month, 2 times a month. The most common reasons given for skipping church are things like greater involvement in kids' activities, as well as increased frequency of travel, online worship options as well, and then spiritual discouragement. Now, none of these are insurmountable as we get our arms around the real value of being in church weekly. So why bother going to church? The answer? Power. Or I guess I should say one of the answers for going to church is power. Most simply put, families that attend church weekly are happier and healthier, which is to say that the experience of attending church weekly is a source of power that brings real transformation in our lives. The research from secular authorities, the secular world, is overwhelming on this topic. Study after study after study shows that families who are in church almost every week have children who are better adjusted and marriages that are healthier. Again, these findings are being reported by leading secular research firms, such as the Pew Research Center and Gallup, as well as Harvard University. In fact, Gallup reported in a survey in 2022 that regular church attendance is a better predictor of happiness than our income and education. Now imagine that. Imagine weekly church attendance makes the attendees happier than increased income or increased education. Again, this is offered by secular research firms. Now, does this mean that life is going to be all rosy if we simply withdraw our children from travel sports? No, absolutely not. No. Hard times, they're going to come. They're still going to come, even if we attend church weekly. But what it does mean is that church attendance, for those that are making church a priority for their family, study after study consistently reports that those people have a greater sense of well-being. And this shouldn't surprise us. Jesus told a parable about a man who built his house on the rock and compared it to the man who built his house on the sand. Both men had the storms of life come against them, but the man who built his house on the rock withstood the storm, while the man who built his house on the sand, his house was demolished. He did not withstand the storm. Attending church weekly, here's the takeaway, attending church weekly is that posture. It is the posture of building our house upon the rock of Jesus Christ, building it upon his teaching, which makes us better able and ready to endure the storms of life. We're better adjusted. Our life satisfaction is higher, and we're generally healthier. And while there are most certainly sociological reasons for regular attenders faring better in life than those that don't attend church regularly, the reality is that there are also real spiritual reasons for these findings. In the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 5, Paul is addressing a disciplinary matter in a particular church, the church in the city of Corinth. And he is giving instructions about how the leadership in the church is to address the issue. Listen to the context around which he gives these instructions. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 4. He says, "When you're assembled together and the power of the Lord Jesus is present." And then he goes on to give the instructions. The power of the Lord Jesus is present. In other words, Paul expected that the power of the Lord Jesus would be physically present in the assembly of God's people to bring transformation. What power is that exactly? Well, it's the same power that raised Jesus from the dead. In fact, Paul says that the same Spirit who raised Christ from the dead lives in us. Now think with me. Think with me. In an age marked by epidemic addiction, How badly do we need to be in church weekly to experience the transforming power of Jesus Christ, who's present in that assembly, the same Spirit that raised him from the dead? We desperately need that. Hope to see you in church this Sunday.